All of us would have definitely come across a situation where you would have picked up people say, it is in my genes. They would perhaps be talking about their physical appearance, personality, mannerism, or talent that they must be sharing with other members of their family. All of us know that genes play a significant role in determining how we look and act. To add to this, it even influences our health conditions like getting sick. This fact is used by researchers to find inventive treatments for many of our health problems. Now, having said that, is it not necessary for us to know how these genes work? Well, to know about this, let us start with the first and foremost substance that comes along with the subject on genes, that is nothing but deoxyribonucleic acid, shortly DNA. Most living organisms are made up of cells that contain this substance called DNA. A gene is biologically defined as a portion of DNA that determines a single character or phenotype, such as height or hair color, secretion of enzymes to digest food, the pigment that springs the color of your eyes, and so on in human beings. Likewise, the height, flower color, fruit size and shape, resistant to pests and diseases, drought and salinity in plants. Genetic information is passed on to the new cells when the cells duplicate. Eukaryotic cells contain more DNA than prokaryotes. The molecular weight is approximately 6 into 10 to the power 6 kilobases or 6 into 10 to the power 9 base pairs. A eukaryote's genome is made up of chromosomes. A gene is a subset of a chromosome. In modern molecular biology, the genome is the entirety of an organism's hereditary information. It is encoded either in DNA or, for many types of virus, in RNA. The genome includes both the genes and the non-coding sequences of the DNA. The name is an example of a portmanteau word, gene and chromosome. Gene plus ome for mass, so genome is large number of genes gathered. All of the genetic information that can be found in an organism is that organism's genome. Each chromosome in a eukaryote consists of one long double-stranded DNA molecule, complex with proteins. Each chromosome has many genes. In between genes, there are non-coding regions called intergenic regions, which do not code for protein, but some appear to code for RNA. This is of course the recent finding. The DNA molecule in a cell is way too long to fit into the nucleus of a cell. So, with the help of proteins, it is packed tightly into a compact structure. The proteins are called histones. First order level of packaging or units called nucleosomes. Hence, packed DNA plus proteins is equal to chromatin. A chromosome is made up of chromatin. Each chromosome is made up of two identical sister chromatids, which are connected at the centromere. The members of a pair of chromosomes of the same type are called homologous. Nucleus, excluding eggs and sperms, has two of each chromosome and is called diploid. Mature egg cells and sperm cells have only one of each chromosome and called haploid. The genome of an organism is the complete set of genes specifying how its phenotype will develop under a certain set of environmental conditions. In classical genetics, in a sexually reproducing organism, typically as like in the case of eukaryotes, the gametes has half of the number of chromosome of the somatic cell and the genome is a full set of chromosome in a gamete. The term genome can be applied specifically to mean that stored on a complete set of nuclear DNA, that is the nuclear genome, but can also be applied to that stored within organelles that contain their own DNA, as with the mitochondrial genome or the chloroplast genome. Additionally, the genome can comprise non-chromosomal genetic elements such as plasmids and transposable elements. The study of the global properties of genomes of related organisms is usually referred to as genomics, which distinguishes it from genetics, which generally studies the properties of single genes or group of genes. Some organisms have multiple copies of chromosomes, diploid, triploid and tetraploid, so on. In this sense, then, diploid organisms like ourselves contain two genomes, one inherited from our mother and other from our father. There are 23 pairs of chromosomes, making a total of 46 in most cells in the human body. However, single sperm and egg cells have only 23 unpaired chromosomes. A human fetus gets half of its chromosomes from its mother's egg and the other half from its father's sperm cell. A female child receives an X chromosome from each parent, whereas a male child gets an X chromosome from his mother and a Y chromosome from his father. Some characteristics originate from a single gene, while others derive from gene combinations. There is nearly endless number of possible combinations because every human being has approximately 25,000 different genes. With this, let us with no more delay look at some of the terms and concepts that derive the science on genes. Let us familiarize ourselves with the basics of genes. A gene can be present in several different forms, which is termed as alleles. For instance, if one gene decides the color of your hair, that one gene may have many forms, which is called as alleles. The different forms of hair color would be black hair, brown hair, auburn hair, red hair, blonde hair, and so on and so forth. You receive one allele for each gene from your mother and one from your father. Every single of the two alleles you receive for a gene, each may be strong, that is called dominant, or weak, called recessive. The physical trait or characteristics the gene codes is usually expressed or shown in the living organism when an allele is dominant. To express a dominant trait, you require only one dominant allele, whereas to express a recessive form of a trait, it is essential to have two recessive alleles. Non-coding RNA genes and protein coding genes are the two common types of gene in the human genome. The non-coding RNA genes embody 2 to 5% of the total and encrypt functional RNA molecules. A lot of these RNAs are involved in the control of gene expression for most part of protein synthesis. They have no complete well looked after structure. The majority of the total genes is represented by protein coding and are expressed in two stages, transcription and translation. They display unbelievable variety in size and organization and have no archetypal structure. There are, on the other hand, several conserved features. Most protein coding genes occur only once per haploid genome, but there are some genes which are found in small families. The genes making up these families are often found close together at a particular point on the chromosome. The mutations which accumulate in a duplicated gene may cause it to become non-functional. These non-functional copies are often maintained in the genome and are known as pseudogenes. Pseudogenes are duplicated genes that have accumulated mutations such that they no longer encode functional gene products. Tandemly repeated genes or repetitive genes differ from the small gene families in that All of the family members are identical and the genes are arranged in a head to tail fashion. Examples of genes organized in this fashion are genes code for RNA products. Genes for ribosomal RNAs, that are 45S precursor and 5S precursor, are encoded in a single unit that is repeated tandemly hundreds and thousands of times. In human genome contains a high proportion of repetitive DNA that can be grouped into tandemly repeated DNA and interspersed repetitive DNA. An estimated third of human genome consists of interspersed repetitive DNA sequences, which are primarily degenerate copies of transposable elements. These are unstable DNA elements that can migrate to different parts of the genome. These repeats are not clustered but are dispersed at numerous locations with the genome. Transposable elements are classified into two groups, namely retrotransposons. Those are derived from RNA that are transposed to DNA through cDNA intermediates and retrotransposition, and transposons, those transposed directly from DNA by transposition. The boundaries of a protein encoding gene are demarcated as the points at which transcription initiates and concludes. The central of the gene is the coding region, which encloses the nucleotide sequence that is in due course decoded into the sequence of amino acids in the protein. It is at the ATG, which is the initiation codon, where the coding region usually begins. It finishes with one of three termination codons, TAA, TAG or TGA. DNA sequences are present on both sides of the coding region. They are transcribed but are not translated. The regulatory elements that control protein synthesis are usually contained in these untranslated regions or non-coding regions. Introns may interrupt both the coding region and the untranslated regions. Most human genes are allocated as exons and introns. The exons are the units that are found to be present in the mature transcript, that is the messenger RNA, while the introns are removed from the primary transcript. The process by which the introns are removed from the primary transcripts is called as splicing. The smallest protein coding gene in the human genome is only 500 nucleotides long and has no introns. It encodes a histone protein. The largest human gene encodes the protein dystrophin, which is absent or non-functional in the disease muscular dystrophy. This gene is 2.5 million nucleotides in length and it takes over 16 hours to create a particular transcript. Nevertheless, more than 99% of the genes made up of its 79 introns. Regulation of gene expression comprises of an extensive variety of contrivances that are used by cells to increase or decrease the manufacture of specific gene products, that is the protein or RNA. It is easily termed as gene regulation. Cultured programs of gene expression are extensively seen in biology. For instance, to activate growing pathways, retard to ecological stimuli, or familiarize to new food sources. Practically any step of gene expression can be controlled, from transcriptional beginning to RNA processing and to the post-transcriptional alteration of a protein. Gene expression is the method by which facts from a gene is used in the production of an efficient gene product. These yields are often proteins, but in non-protein coding genes such as ribosomal RNA, simply called as rRNA, transfer RNA, call it as tRNA, or small nuclear RNA, snRNA genes, the product is a functional RNA. The method of gene expression is used by all known life. Eukaryotes including multicellular organisms, prokaryotes, bacteria and archaea, probably persuaded by viruses. They are induced to generate the macromolecular machinery for life. A number of steps in the gene expression method may be modulated. Together with the transcription, RNA splicing, translation and post-translational modification of a protein. Gene regulation gives the cell mechanism over structure and function. It is the foundation for cellular differentiation, morphogenesis and the versatility and adaptability of any organism. Gene regulation may also aid as a substrate for evolutionary change, since mechanism of the timing, location and amount of gene expression can have an intense effect on the functions of the gene in a cell or in a multicellular organism. Gene expression in genetics is the utmost essential level at which the genotype gives rise to the phenotype. The genetic code stored in DNA is interpreted by gene expression, and the material goods of the expression gives rise to the organism's phenotype. Such phenotypes are regularly expressed by the synthesis of proteins that control the organism's shape. It may also act as enzymes catalyzing particular metabolic pathways, typifying the organism. Regulation of gene expression denotes to the control of the amount of timing of look of the functional product of a gene. Control of expression is important to permit a cell to yield the gene products when it needs them. In sequence, this gives cells the suppleness to adapt to a variable environment, external signals, damage to the cell and so on. Some simple examples of where gene expression is significant are control of insulin expression. As a result, it gives a signal for blood glucose regulation. X chromosome inactivation in female mammals to avoid an overdose of the genes it holds. Cyclin expression levels control progression through the eukaryotic cell cycle. In addition, generally gene regulation gives the cell control over all structure and function. It is the base for cellular differentiation, morphogenesis and the flexibility and adaptability of any organism. Any step of gene expression may be controlled, from the DNA to RNA, transcription step to post-translational modification of a protein. The firmness of the final gene product, whether it is RNA or protein, also adds to the expression level of the gene. An unsteady gene product results in a low expression level. Overall, we can say that gene expression is regulated through changes in the number and type of exchanges between molecules that collectively influence transcription of DNA and translation of RNA. Regulation of transcription can be split down into three main routes of influence. They are genetic, that is direct interaction of a control factor with the gene; modulation, that is interaction of a control factor with the transcription machinery; and epigenetic, that is non-sequence changes in DNA structure which influence transcription. Note that the DNA methylation is a widespread mechanism for epigenetic influence on gene expression. It is visible in bacteria and eukaryotes and has parts in heritable transcription silencing and transcription regulation. The structure of chromatin, controlled by the histone code in eukaryotes, regulates access to DNA with significant impacts on the expression of genes in euchromatin and heterochromatin areas. In eukaryotes, where export of RNA is essential before translation is possible, nuclear export is believed to offer supplementary control over gene expression. All transport in and out of the nucleus is through the nuclear pore. it is observed that transport is controlled by a wide range of import in and export in proteins. Direct regulation of translation is established not as much of than control of transcription or mRNA stability. Direct regulation of translation is rarely used. Inhibition of protein translation is a chief objective for toxins and antibiotics so as to eradicate a cell by superseding its normal gene expression control. Protein synthesis inhibitors contain the antibiotic neomycin and the toxin ricin. Once protein synthesis is through, the level of expression of that protein can be reduced by protein degradation. There are key protein degradation pathways in all prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Out of these, the proteasome is a common component. An unwanted or impaired protein is often labeled for degradation by tally of ubiquitin. Lac operon is an operon essential for the transport and metabolism of lactose in Escherichia coli and certain other enteric bacteria. It comprises of 3 adjacent structural genes LAC-Z, LAC-Y and LAC-A. The genes encode beta galactosidase, lactose permease and thiogalactoside transacetylase or galactoside O-acetyl transferase correspondingly. In its normal surroundings, the lac operon agrees for the effective digestion of lactose. The lactose permease, which takes a seat in the cytoplasmic membrane, transports lactose into the cell. Beta galactosidase, a cytoplasmic enzyme, consequently cleaves lactose into glucose and galactose. On the other hand, it would be inefficient to produce the enzymes when there is no lactose available or if there is additional desirable energy source available such as glucose. Gene regulation of the lac operon was the first genetic regulatory mechanism to be agreed evidently and is one of the leading methods of prokaryotic gene regulation. The lac operon is one of the simplest approaches for explanation of how a repressor enzyme operates within a cell on DNA, and for that reason is debated in many introductory molecular and cellular biology classes at universities. The lac operon uses a 2-part control mechanism to make certain that the cell pay out energy producing the enzymes encoded by the lac operon only when needed. It attains this chiefly with the lac repressor, which stops the production in the non-attendance of lactose, and E2A gluc, which locks up lactose permease when glucose is being transported into the cell. The dual control mechanism causes the progressive use of glucose and lactose in 2 distinct growth phases. This is known as dioxy. The first control system for enzyme production worked out at the molecular level refers to the control of enzymes that are produced in reaction to the presence of the sugar lactose in E. coli cell. The work was performed by Jacob and Monod. They were awarded the Nobel Prize for their work. The following is the pathway that leads to the production of glucose and lactose. So, lactose gives rise to glucose plus galactose by beta galactosidase. Underneath the arrow we should put beta galactosidase. A number of proteins involved in lactose metabolism in the E. coli cell, they are beta galactosidase, which changes lactose into glucose and galactose. Beta galactosidase permease, which transports lactose into the cell. Beta galactosidase transacetylase, its functions not known. Research with this system was critically supplemented by the availability of constitutive mutants. A constitutive mutant is one in which the gene product is manufactured continually, that is, there is no control over its expression. In these mutants, the above proteins were produced all the time, in contrast to the wild type where the proteins were seen only in the presence of lactose. Therefore, in these mutants, the mutation must be a gene other than those accountable for the structural genes. All of the genes involved in controlling this pathway are placed next to each other on the E. coli chromosome. Collectively, they form an operon. Hence, operon is a cluster of structural genes that are expressed as a group and their related promoter and operator. Now, let us know how the system works. Without lactose in the cell, the repressor protein binds to the operator and avoids the read through of RNA polymerase into the three structural genes. With lactose in the cell, lactose fixes to the repressor. This causes a structural variation in the repressor and it loses its affinity for the operator. As a result, RNA polymerase can then bind to the promoter and copy out the structural genes. In this system, lactose acts as an effector molecule. So, effector molecule is a molecule that interrelates with the repressor and disturbs the affinity of the repressor for the operator. With the above information, we can now foresee the effect that several mutants will have on lac operon gene expression. Lactose is not the favored carbohydrate source for E. coli. If lactose and glucose exist, the cell will utilize all of the glucose before the lac operon is turned on. This kind of control is termed as catabolite repression. To avoid lactose metabolism, a second level of control of gene expression occurs. The agent of the lac operon has two binding sites. The first site is the location where RNA polymerase binds. The second site is the binding site for a complex between the catabolite activator protein, it is being called as CAP, and cyclic AMP, shortly called as CAMP. The binding of the CAP-CAMP complex to the promoter site is essential for transcription of the lac operon. The presence of this complex is thoroughly related with the presence of glucose in the cell. The amount of CAMP decreases as the concentration of glucose increases. The amount of complex decreases as the CAMP decreases. This decrease in the complex inactivates the promoter and the lac operon is turned off. Because of the CAP-CAMP complex is necessary for transcription, the complex uses a positive control over the expression of the lac operon. We discussed in detail about the structure of a gene. We also discussed about the regulation of gene expression, prokaryotic gene reaction and lac operon. By going through this session, we got to know that chromosomes hold the instructions for creating a living thing. They are present in practically all cells nucleus and are organized from strands of DNA. Gene is a unit of heredity which is transported from a parent to descendants and is held to control some characteristic of the descendants. Non-coding RNA genes and protein coding genes are the two common types of gene in the human genome. The non-coding RNA genes embody 2 to 5% of the total and encrypt functional RNA molecules. The majority of the total genes is represented by protein coding and are expressed in two stages, transcription and translation. Regulation of gene expression comprises of an extensive variety of contrivances that are used by cells to increase or decrease the manufacture of specific gene products. Gene expression is the method by which facts from a gene is used in the production of an efficient gene product. These yields are often proteins.